Welcome to the Hamsig Analytics Daily Market Commentary. I'm Pablo Navarro. Today is Friday, September 14th, 2012. For the market internals, the New York Stock Exchange advanced decline differential closed at 1,025. Nasdaq advanced decline differential closed at 755. We had 109 new 52-week highs for the S&P 500 and no new 52-week lows. Very bullish action here on the number of 52-week highs to 52-week lows for the S&P 500. For the volatility, we saw 600,000 contracts traded on the VIX with 48 million in total premiums paid. For the dollar-weighted put-call ratio in September, we saw a 1.51, which is neutral with 21% of the total premiums paid. For October, a 0.39, which is bearish with 36% of the total premiums paid. And November, a 0.53, which is neutral with 17% of the total premiums paid. Okay, we're gonna start with the weekly chart today for the SPX. We have a very good week here, finishing almost at the highs, and today we had a great day, 5.7 handles up and a new high for the year. You can see here this trend line has been respected several times now over the terms here of the weeks, and we have here a support around, let's call it 1450, 1440. That's gonna be our support. That would be a healthy pullback in case we get one next week to 1440. Also, we are starting to get out of the positive 1, positive 2 sigma channel and going to the positive 2, positive 3 on the weekly chart. That could be some short-term overbought levels. So we just wanted to cool off here and start to ride the positive 1, positive 2 sigma channel, which is now increasing. We could see it here on the sigma channel width. They're starting to go higher as the market goes higher. For CI, perfectly going higher, perfect good slope here for the upside. So our long-term target here on the weekly chart would be 1500, 1507. You can see it here. That's the positive 3 sigma. Now let's go to the daily chart. On the daily chart, you can see here we're a little bit overextended. We are at 3 sigma, and again today we had a new high of the year, like I just mentioned. Our target here on a more shorter time range, we're looking at 1475. That's gonna be our target here on the daily chart. That's positive 3 sigma. 1475. That's 10 points from here. On the downside, maybe a little pullback to 1438, 1440. We just talked about that, and that would be the positive 1 sigma. That's the level here. In case we do get a bigger pullback, 1420 would be our last hope here to support and to continue to be on the upside targets. For CI, we continue to be red but going higher. The slope is very positive here, so this is just a warning sign here, this red CI and the 3 sigma on the daily chart. Sigma channel width increasing as the market goes higher, which is also positive. Now let's go to the 60-minute chart. For the 60-minute chart, we have the weekly pivot support and resistance, and you can see here we reached weekly resistance number 2. 1465 was met today. We talked about yesterday almost getting there, and today we clearly broke above it, and about the next hour we couldn't hold on to those gains and maybe came back a little, while the market was basically flat. So our targets here on the 60-minute chart were pretty good this week. We touched our first target, and then we met our second target yesterday thanks to Bernanke's speech. Let's go to the SPY. SPY, let's start with the weekly chart, and let's get some targets here on the weekly chart. We're looking for 151. That's gonna be a long-term target. Of course, that's not gonna happen in 1 week or so. We're looking a couple of weeks in advance. 151, and on the downside we wanted to hold 137. That's gonna be our 0 sigma on the weekly chart. That's gonna be very important to hold. On the daily chart, new high for the year for SPY, we're looking for 148.20. That's pretty close from here, like $1 above it. But on the downside, we're looking for 142.50. That's 0 sigma. We want that level to hold in case we get some type of a pullback. A more less severe pullback would be 144.46 to 1 sigma. That would be a nice pullback and maybe a re-entry for the long side. For the Qs, we are sigma a little bit overextended to the upside. That's thanks to Apple, which has been acting very positively here on the days after announcing their iPhone 5. We're looking here for maybe a pullback to 68 again, and then resume back our uptrend. On the weekly chart, we're looking for 73. That's gonna be 3 sigma, and you can see here on the Qs we continue to be on the +1, +2 sigma channel, which is a very good play here. The 68 target we just talked about on the downside. For a pullback, we could be that is the 1 sigma on the weekly chart. Now going for GLD. Here we have the week for GLD. Very good week here for GLD, but we must say this is the second consecutive week that we've been closing at 3 sigma. Maybe we're getting overextended here on gold, but of course it's all a reaction thanks to Ben Bernanke that we're gonna get more QE. So that's what we're having here on gold. Our target on gold is 176 on the upside, and maybe we get some type of pullback to 165, 167. That's gonna be even healthy for the market and for gold, and then it could resume back its uptrend. So long term we're looking for 176. That's gonna be 3 sigma on the daily chart. You can see it here a little bit above it, and we're looking that would be the shorter term target, 3 sigma on the daily chart. And here we've been riding +2, +3, +1, +2 sigma channel since we broke the 200-day moving average to the upside, which is very bullish here. You can see we could continue to go higher here, not overextended on as much as we are on the weekly chart. Last thing we're gonna look at today, here we have the number of 52-week highs and 52-week lows for the S&P 500. Look at these spikes we're getting here on S&P 52-week highs. We have 109 52-week highs today. Yesterday we had 89. We're starting to get some spikes here, which is not as positive as one would think. Maybe we're starting to get close to a top. If this continues to spike, maybe go to 150, 160. So we wanted to cool down and maybe stay around the 60, 70 level. On the number of 52-week highs, very positive. Here, no 52-week lows, only one today. That's very good here. And overall on the market in terms. On the McClellan oscillator, here we have it. Let's reload to get current data. 172, we are overbought here. We're starting to get overbought readings in a lot of the indicators here, so just a caution sign for the upside. Maybe we're setting up for a little pullback, and then maybe we are going to resume. So this would not be the place to start new longs here. We're getting a lot of overbought levels in most of the indicators we're watching. We have a special offer by TradeStation. Get your HAMSI Analytics proprietary indicator paid by TradeStation. Contact Active Traders office in Chicago, Peter Albino, at the number listed below. Have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you Monday.